أهلا بكم إلى درس 15 في برنامج كلم العربية مع أوباكيدز على قناة أوباكيدز لين. اليوم بإذن الله تعالى نتحدث عن كيفية تركيب المثنى في اللغة العربية مع الأمثلة في الجمل. Welcome to the 15th lesson of Speak Arabic with Obakids program. Today, inshallah, we're going to discuss the formation of dual in Arabic language with examples in the sentences. Let's start. Dual in Arabic language is known as al-Musanna. It refers to the entities which are only two in number. Dual in Arabic language is usually found by adding alif al-isnayn, dual alif, to the end of singular form of pronouns, nouns and verbs. In the case of the nouns and verbs, noon is always added to the alif, while it can be dropped in some cases. The formation of dual can come in three ways, which are 1. Dual pronouns الضمائر المثنى for pronouns. 2. Nominal duals الأسماء المثنى for nouns. 3. Verbal dual الأفعال المثنى for verbs. 1. Dual pronoun ضمير المثنى. The second person pronoun أنتما, which is for both masculine and feminine genders, has a suffix ma, which indicates its duality. Likewise, the third person dual pronoun, which is huma, has a suffix of ma, which makes it a dual pronoun for both masculine and feminine genders. Examples. Here are some examples. Al-mufrad, singular. Al-musanna, dual. Anta. Anta means you. Anti means you, and both of them are for second person singular. Huwa means he. Here means she. Both of them are for third person singular. Antuma means you, for second person dual. Huma means they, for third person dual. So the dual pronouns here are antuma and huma. It is important to note that the pronouns remain the same regardless of their position in the sentence, because they don't have parsing marks. Dual pronoun ضمير المثنى can be used as subject, object, and possessive pronouns. When they are used in the position of subjects, functioning as the doers in the sentence, examples are huma yajlisan, they are sitting, for dual. Antuma tadrusan, you are studying, for dual. So the dual pronoun subjects here are huma and antuma. When used in the position of object, functioning as the receiver of the actions in the sentence, here we have some examples. Darabtuhuma, I beat them, for dual. Qara'tuhuma, I read them, for dual. So the dual pronoun object here is huma, them, and huma, them. They can be used with the preposition in the sentence and function as the prepositional object. Examples are ذهبت إليهما, I went to them, for dual. جلس الولد عليهما, the boy sat on them, for dual. So the prepositional object here is huma and huma. They can be used as the possessive pronouns in the sentence. Examples are kitabuhuma, zabuk, for dual. Sayyaratuhuma, anthuma, they are carved for dual. So the dual possessive pronouns here is huma, da, and huma, there. 2. Nominal dual, al-ismu li-musanna. In Arabic language, singular nouns are made by dual, by adding alif and noon to their ends. Therefore, the alif is the only dual marker, while the noon represents the parsing marks that's usually added to a singular noun, which are tanween, fathatan, kasratan, and dammatan for indefinite nouns. It is important to note that the alif and noon are usually changed to yaw and noon when nouns are in the position of object or after a preposition. So alif and noon and yaw and noon as dual markers. Alif and noon are added to the nouns if they are in subjective positions in the sentences. Examples are ismu li mufrad, singular noun, al-musanna fi mahalli rafu, dual in the position of dhamma, as if it were subject. Amsalat fil jumla, the examples in sentences. Al-qalamu, the pen. Al-qalamani, the two pens. Al-qalamani jadidani, the two new pens. Al-rajulu, the man. Al-rajulani, the two men. Jalasa al-rajulani ala al-maq'ad. The two men sat on the bench. Al-bintu, the girl. Al-bintani, the two girls. Jalasat al-bintani ala al-maq'ad. The two girls sat on the chair. So the dual nouns in position of subject here are al-qalamani, al-rajulani, and al-bintani. Alif and noon are changed to yaw and noon when the nouns are in objective positions in the sentences. Examples are ismu li mufrad, singular noun, al-musanna fi mahalli nasbi, dual in the position of fatha, as if it were an object. Al-amsalat fil jumla, the examples in sentences. Al-qalam, the pen. Al-qalamain, the two pens. Ishtaraitu al-qalamain, I bought the two pens. Al-rajul, the man. Al-rajulain, the two men. Ra'aytu al-rajulain, I saw the two men. Al-bintu, the girl. Al-bintaini, the two girls. Darabtu al-bintaini, I beat the two girls. So the dual nouns in the position of object are al-qalamaini, al-rajulaini, and al-bintaini. Alif and noon also change to yaw and noon and the nouns in the position of prepositional objects. Sentences. Examples are ismu li mufrad, singular noun, musanna li majrur, dual prepositional objects. Amsalat fil jumla, examples in sentences. Al-qalamu, the pen. Al-qalamaini, the two pens. Katabtu bil-qalamaini, I wrote with the two pens. Al-rajulu, the man. Al-rajulaini, the two men. Marartu bil-rajulaini, I passed by the two men. Al-bintu, the girl. Al-bintaini, the two girls. Sallamtu ala al-bintaini, I greeted the two girls. So the dual prepositional objects here are al-qalamaini, al-rajulaini, and al-bintaini. Alif and noon also change to yaw and noon when the nouns in the position of possessive pronouns of ilayhi in the sentences. Here we have Sayyaratu li-rajulaini jadidat, the two men's car is new. Kitabu li-bintaini jadid, the two daughters' book is old. So the possessive pronouns in all of these sentences are al-rajulaini and al-bintaini. 3. The verbal duals al-af'al al-musanna. Dual maker for the verbs is like that of nouns, which is alif and noon. Perhaps the noon is only marked with the indicative verbs al-marfu because it replaces al-damma of the singular indicated present verbs. If the verbs al-mansub, subjunctive verbs, or al-majzum, adjective verbs, the noon is dropped. When the verbs are in their past forms, the dual will be indicated by alif. Al-Muslimani jalasa ala al-kursi. The two Muslims sat on the chair. At-tabibatani sharibata kahwat. The two doctors drank coffee. So the past dual verbs here in these sentences are jalasa and sharibata. It is very important to note that alif only appears in the verb if the verb comes after the dual subject. What if the dual subject comes after the verbs remain singular without adding alif? Here we have jalasa al-muslimani ala al-kursi. The two Muslims sat on the chair. Al-Muslimani jalasa ala al-kursi. The two Muslims sat on the chair. Sharibat at-tabibatani kahwat. The two doctors drank coffee. At-tabibatani sharibata kahwat. The two doctors drank coffee. So in the first sentence, the reason why jalasa doesn't have an alif is because it's before a dual noun. In the next sentence, the reason why jalasa has an alif is because it is after a dual noun. And the third sentence, the reason why sharibat doesn't have an alif is because it's before a dual noun. And the last sentence, the reason why sharibata has an alif is because it is after a dual noun. Sentence, fi'l mudari, here they can come in three forms. 1. Subjunctive case, al-musanna li-marfu. 2. Subjunctive case, musanna li-mansub. 3. Jussive case, al-musanna li-majzum. Fi'l mufrad, singular verb, fi'l musanna li-marfu. Dual verb in position of dhamma, or subjunctive case. Al-amsalat fil jumla, the examples in sentences. Yadusu, he is learning. Yadusan, they are learning. Al-waladani yadusan, the two boys are learning. Tal'ab, she is playing. Tal'aban, they are playing. Al-bintani tal'aban, the two girls are playing. So subjunctive case here is Yadusani and Tal'aban. Fi'l mufrad, singular verb. Fi'l mustanna li mansub. Dual verb in the position of fatha or subjunctive case. Al-amsalat fil jumla, the examples in sentences. Yadusu, he is learning. Lan yadusa, they will never learn. Al-rajulani lan yadusa ma'ana, the two men will never learn with us. Tal'ab, she is playing. Kay tal'aba, so they can play. Zahabat al-bintani ila al-maydani kay tal'aba, the two girls went to the field so that they can play. So the subjunctive case here is yadusa and tal'aba. Here we have fi'l mufrad, singular verb. Fi'l musanna li majzum, dual verb in the position of sukun or jussive case. Al-amsalat fil jumla, the examples in sentences. Yadusu, he is learning. Lam yadusa, they haven't learned. Al-rajulani لم يدرس في الجامعة. The two men haven't learned in the university. تلعب, you are playing. لا تلعب, do not play. لا تلعب في الميدان. Don't play in the field. Hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Join us on the next lesson for another episode of Speak Arabic with Obakids. شكرا على المتابعة. Thanks for watching us on our channel Obakids Link TV, YouTube, Facebook and Instagram.